Hey, welcome back to tobeseen.com. I'm Joe Dove, as you know, and then we got Bad Ash Billy Campbell joining us, and we have a very special guest for the first time on To Be Seen. We got the last Respawn show, the man himself, Dex. What's up, dude? How are you?
Well, I'm David, and this is Xander.
Yeah. You can call me Z-Man. Whatever you guys like.
All right,
Thank you,
Z
thank you,
Man.
thank you for having us on the show.
Absolutely, absolutely. We just talked about Renfield last week, and this week we're going to get into the amazing Evil Dead Rise. Woo! What a way to kick off our horror releases this year. We had Renfield as a horror comedy, and we had Evil Dead Rise as a true horror film. And man, was it one that left you with so much. I was blown away. I loved it. I thought it was probably one of the best films that could have come out, one of the best interpretations of an Evil Dead franchise that we can remember. But I'm going to go around, and before we get too crazy, let us just get an overall opinion on how you guys think this went. We'll start with you, Dax, our guest.
Okay. I'm a huge Evil Dead fan.
That's a goddamn lie.
Uh, that's not. Look, I got an Army of Darkness shirt, so that.
He saw the damn movies uh, a week before the damn Evil Dead Rise. If anyone's a fan, it's me. All right, I grew up on that shit.
Okay, well, uh, what do we think about Evil Dead Rise? Oh, well, we have a lot to think about.
It was good, but it didn't blow us away.
Yeah, okay. I guess that's not a lot to say. So that's our first impressions for you guys there.
All right, Billy.
I liked it. It was great seeing it was a return to Evil Dead 2. It was very much, I mean, they even had a scene in an elevator that very reminiscent of like a tree uh possession from the first, well, sequel. I keep on wanting to say it's that thing with like some franchises where you want to talk about the second one, but you accidentally say the first one.
Right, right. All right. I thought it was really fun. I thought the jump scares were great. I thought the uh certain things that happened in the film threw me for a loop. I didn't expect them, and it was brutal, very bloody. It was top notch. But let's jump into the cast. All right. So this iteration of Evil Dead stars Maribel Peace as Teresa, Richard Crotchley as Caleb, douchebag little son, Anna Marie Thomas as Jessica, Lily Sullivan as Beth, poor Beth, Alyssa Sutherland as Ellie. Woo! What chops did she have?
Oh
Morgan
yeah.
Davis as Danny, Noah Paul as Bruce. I'm wondering if that's supposed to be young Bruce Campbell. Gabriella
I doubt
Eccles.
that. I doubt that.
I doubt that it was a nod. Neil Fisher is the young girl Cassie. Billy Reynolds McCarthy as Jake. Jaden Daniels as Gabriel for One Eye Gabriel, and Ty Wano as Scott, aka Meat.
All these people were in the movie? Really? God damn. I felt like a lot less people.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was too much. All right, let's hop right into what worked. All right, Billy, we're going to start with you. What do you think worked with the film?
Oh, I love the cinematography of this thing. They had the shaky cam just like the old Sam Raimi, and also I kind of liked, as I said, there's that scene that they always show you during the trailer, but you don't realize it's going to be as long apart as it was, where like the mom's trying to trick the little girl into opening the door again,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and like half the cast, like all the neighbors, all die at that one
It was a
thing, and
bloodbath.
it's just like you just hear. And it's just like, okay, this person just got shot, like right out, falls right out of the door frame. Then you hear like the scream, and it's just like almost like just like a runaway gag. And just it was actually hilarious at that part. I was actually laughing hysterically at what I'm calling the keyhole massacre.
The key.
Oh, yeah, that was great. That was
Oh yeah, it's always nice to see kids get killed.
what? No, no. All right. Anyway, I mean, there was a shock that a lot of kids died in this movie. Are we allowed to say spoilers? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah. I
okay?
mean, it's if you're here a week
Oh,
later,
crap.
you
I'm
probably.
sorry, we shouldn't have said spoilers. I take back almost everything I said.
It's like, should we talk about spoilers? I can hear anything.
It's true. One week later, maybe some people didn't see it, but anyway, yeah, kids die in this movie.
Yeah, a lot of kids are gonna die.
Oh, all right. What did you think, Dax? Tell us.
His name's David. Anyway,
David. Yeah, David, tell us.
it's all right. They look the same. It confuses a lot of people. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
What worked? Definitely the cinematography. We got that classic opening shot of the demon wind.
Oh yeah, that's from like the movies.
See, this motherfucker didn't watch the movies. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, I like the title crawl. That was pretty epic. That was something right there. I mean, yeah, Badass Billy nailed it out the park with his description of this is Evil Dead. This felt like Evil Dead. You have the Evil Dead remake, and this almost kind of felt like a remake of Evil Dead 2, but in an apartment building.
But it was too much on the nose. We'll get to that later on. But the gore was great. Could have been more bloody, to be honest. Could have been more bloody.
If there was any more blood to be.
Well, you got Lee Cronin saying blood is a character in this movie, and I was like, that's a fuck. That character was sorely missing. I mean, we got that great elevator scene. That was great, but and then you had Stephen King talk about chainsaw fu. How old is Stephen King? He might be in that senile age.
Okay, don't say bad things about Stephen King. I want to talk to him one day. But yeah, it felt like an Evil Dead film. At the end of the day, it definitely felt like an Evil Dead film.
Yeah, it definitely nailed the vibe of Evil Dead, but did it evolve the franchise? I don't think so.
All right, we both got different opinions apparently. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it like you said, it didn't evolve the franchise. That sort of puts a nail on the head. I think this definitely felt like another story in the interim of Evil Dead. I thought it was very clever that the book that Necronomicon was buried underneath their shitty ass hotel or apartment tower, and it was unearthed by an earthquake. I thought that was
what a convenience, huh?
yeah. Well, how about that? This earthquake just opened up the portal to the demon book, and now these priests. Who would have thought they would have priests do it? We should read these things. It's like, did you ever order a pizza in Latin? It summons the devil. Don't do it.
Apparently, it's not the same Necronomicon 2, which I don't think a lot of people.
No, they said there's 3 of them.
Yeah, that really wasn't brought across that much in the movie.
No, unless we missed that. Unless you're listening to people talk about this movie, you're just like, oh, is that the same book? Where's the face? I don't know. Okay, it does the same thing.
So
Yeah.
I felt like a little more explanation on that, but I guess the plan is to explain that there's 3 books later on down the road.
Yeah, it was a throwaway line in this one. There was like, oh, there's 3 of these books.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and it was real quick. It was like the part where the little blonde kid is like he's scratching on the thing, and the priest says it. Oh, there's 3 of them, and we found one. So like you don't know exactly where the other 2 are from, and he's like, don't read this. And I like how like the vinyl records that you're reading, it goes in off order. So the last one, he goes, guys, you really shouldn't do this. Like, what the fuck? You should have started out with that.
Yeah, I love the vinyl record. That was a great homage. And I want to play that soundbite at the club when I'm DJing.
I don't think you should play that.
I don't care if it's Summons Deadites. It's gonna be a hell of a party.
Everybody's dead. And when we talked about kids not making it, they spared no one. I mean, the teenagers, the little kids, they are toast.
Only 2 survivors.
Only 2 survivors in the whole building. That's crazy. And it was interesting that like you're wondering if other people that lived in that building got possessed as well, because it started out at a lake with the young couple. They're chilling at the lake, and the girl goes and checks on the camper, and her buddy, who is this guy's girlfriend, and she starts like bugging out, and then
she scalps the girl.
Yeah, she scalps home girl.
That was great.
I didn't like that scene. That was too much.
Oh, that was crazy. And they fool you in the beginning because you got that invisible view coming at you. And it turns out it was a drone. And then they give you like a little bit of a like foreshadowing. Oh yeah, this could have cut my face or whatever. It's like, nah, I wouldn't have done nothing. And then when homegirl comes out in her like demonic state and the thing cuts her up and you're like, oh, it killed her. And then she falls in the water and homeboy goes in and she slaughters. It was like, oh my God. And then we go 1 week earlier and we find out about the family that got.
Actually, it was only one day.
It was only one
Yeah.
day. Oh
yeah,
my
it was
God.
one day. We were like, wow, what could happen in a day? Apparently a lot,
A lot can happen in a day. Yeah.
you know.
And then
Can we talk about that Deadite mommy?
Oh, we're gonna get there. I mean,
yeah. Let's talk about mom. Let's talk about
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
she
she
was
could
great.
possess myself.
she was great. I mean, like the way she looks, she has this look of the actress herself has this presence, this look about her that like she's almost not of this world as it
Yeah,
is.
she looks inhuman. When
Yeah,
I saw her as Norma, I was like, oh no, I don't trust that woman. But also, hey
She's-
mommy.
Yeah,
calm down.
she was really creepy, like normal. And then when she got possessed, it was like, wow, this fits. This makes more sense. Mommy's with the maggots now, sweetie. Oh,
Such a good line. That
Yeah.
I want that on a t-shirt. God damn.
yeah. Oh man. Billy, what did you think? What worked?
Oh, basically, the mom was like what sold this movie. I mean, she
Yeah.
carried this movie. I mean, even some of the stuff like I partially expected at a point when she's like trying to trick the little girl. Like I thought, oh, is she gonna use like the dad's voice or something? Is she gonna like do something? No, she just really just plays off the fact the kid was that stupid.
Yeah, that was one dumb kid. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You're.
Hey,
Oh,
Daddy's
the
here.
door closed.
Oh fuck! Yeah,
yeah.
open the door. We'll let us in.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this girl's. She's hard R. So we'll just do it. We'll just tell her, hey, Dad's here. Hi, honey. You know.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
that's a good part. But you gotta give me props to that little girl for having Stephanie. Just
Oh yeah, that killed the big. I mean, that killed the sister too. I mean, impaling the sister through the skull with Stephanie.
Yeah, that was sick.
That
sick.
was woo, that was a lot.
the homie was a lot for you. I think he peed his pants.
No, let's not talk about
Yeah, I'm
remember
sure a
that.
lot of people did.
Track. If it's warm, it's pee. If it's cold, then you just spilled your soda.
Yeah. Keep that
Okay,
in mind.
good to know. Good to
Keep that
I'll
in
keep
mind.
that in
Keep that
mind.
in
Thank
mind.
you, Billy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, we hopped into what worked. Let's what didn't work for this movie. All right, we're gonna start with you, Dave. What didn't work?
Well,
The CGI eyes. What the fuck, man?
okay. I mean, yeah, they were kind of sticking out for me. I don't know if it was our screen or anything. I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but do they not make spooky contacts anymore?
I could go down to the Party City and get better contacts than what we saw there. Like, I know we can't have the old contacts from Evil Dead because they were like glass and the actors were blind. But come on, man. Those CGI eyes were bugging me.
Yeah, that really took it out for us. And I think this movie suffered from what are the kids calling these kind of movies?
Requels.
It kind of had that requel kind of thing where it was kind of playing it safe. And there's interviews, I don't know if we're going to cover it later on the show, with Lee Cronin, where he actually wanted to incorporate the entire apartment complex into the movie to have it be swarmed with Deadites. And Ivan Raimi told him, well, let's dial it back and make it more claustrophobic like the Evil Dead films, which is a nice homage. But at the same time, I would have wanted
Gremlins 2 with Deadites. That's what the fuck I wanted.
Yeah,
All over the place.
yeah.
Now I'm thinking of that Key and Peele sketch.
Yeah, exactly. Like when they hyped up that Evil Dead was going to an urban environment, I was expecting something a little more different. And it was nice to see them replicate the same cabin fever in the apartment. Even the chain door was the same door from the cabin when they locked Henrietta with the mom. If you think about it, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So I felt like it played it too safe. And maybe if Lee Cronin does the next movie,
he really thinks he is. He's got 3 ideas. This kid better calm the hell down.
Well, he did a good job. I would have wanted more blood. The gore was great. Yeah, I mean,
They hyped up the cheese grater, and you saw it for like one shot, and that was it. It was like such a quick shot for such a hype thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
the whole cheese grater thing. I thought there'd be a little more there, but I would say number one, you gotta get rid of those CGI eyes. They were doing a disservice to are we calling her Deadeye Mommy?
Yes, Deadeye Mommy.
Okay, you know, they glow too much. I don't know what didn't work for you guys.
All right, Billy, what didn't work for you?
Okay, there were two things that didn't work for me. One, the beginning and end, with the whole camping thing, because I felt like that was too tagged on at the end. I
That's
felt
a
like
good
they were
point.
like, okay, we need to have this tie in. Let's just have like a throwaway scene of a girl getting possessed in the parking lot to show this.
That's a good point.
And the
Yeah.
other thing that I thought was kind of bad was one of the moments of fan service, they screwed up one of the lines. When she has
Oh,
the shotgun, she says, "Come and get some," instead of "Come get some."
Oh, yeah.
Just a basic thing. Just
I
come
thought
get
she was going to
some.
say, "This is
How
my
can you screw up
boomstick."
a
You
line
know?
like that?
I thought
Yeah.
she said come get some. She said come and get some.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh,
She threw the
Sure.
end in there.
She should have put an F word in there.
Yeah, that would have worked. I thought it was interesting that she had the blood stained face, just like the original. You know, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
definitely had a lot of homages. They, the chainsaw and everything. But go ahead, Billy.
But yeah, I mean, like that whole camp thing. I mean, it's if those guys had been in the movie more, like that neighbor was in there during like the whole possession and running through everything, it would actually seem much more with it. Just seem like, oh, we forgot about this person. Let's throw them in. Hey,
Yeah.
remember that girl that was possessed and killed everybody at the lake?
She was
she's
a neighbor.
actually in it. She's in the movie. It actually happens.
Yeah.
Last scene.
Yeah.
That's why they should have incorporated the entire building.
Not just one floor, because there was just one floor in the basement. So, like, how does that, like, really? The Deadites are just trapped on one floor? Like, come on. It should have been the whole building.
Plus,
Yeah,
there's no stairs and there's no elevator. Where's that?
Yeah, that actually is not what didn't work for me. It was like, okay, the elevator, the earthquake took out just that staircase. You know what I mean? Like, of all things, it's just the stair. How convenient, you know what I mean? And how convenient for this to be built on top of not only a bank but a church too. So it was like, well, how many things is this built on top? And if you go even further, it turns out there's a whole city of evil Deadites down there. It's
Yeah.
like, how many? What the hell, man? What architect? I wonder why it was a condemned building.
That's gonna be for the sequel. That they have another earthquake, and then you go into the Evil Dead church or something down there.
Yeah, Church of the Poisoned Mind. Yeah, exactly. It was that part was kind of off-putting, but still, I did enjoy the movie overall.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, let's see how things went in reception. So, as always, when we talk about reception, we're looking at reviews and what people thought about it. And here we go with our good old buddies, Rotten Tomatoes. They don't know us, and we don't know anybody that works there. But it's very positive, 84% fresh and 79% from the audience score, out of over 1,000 reviews from the audience, from verified reviewers, and about 200 critics. So, I think this did very well.
That's about right. That's the kind of score we gave it an 8 out of 10 in our show.
Yeah, we gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I thought it did. I thought it was great. I mean, for box office wise, it took in about 24 million for the opening weekend, which I was surprised because I thought maybe Mario would have fizzled out by now because Mario's been going for like almost 3 weeks. And kids just want to keep seeing Mario again. So
Can't mess with that Mario Thunder, Papa.
yeah, I guess so.
Hey, that Chris Pratt Mario.
Yeah. Everybody was complaining about him being the voice of Chris Pratt. Mario, Chris Pratt being the voice, and it worked. Just like they announced today that in the new Transformers cartoon that's coming out, Transformers the movie cartoon, Chris Helmsworth is going to be Optimus Prime.
God, do only the Chris's get jobs now? we gotta change our name to Chris, David. Chris is on there.
It has a better ring. I'm with it.
Yeah, Chris Chris David and Chris Sander. That's your new names. There you go.
We got 2 Chris's.
There you go. There we
Yeah,
go.
and
So I guess I'll be
I'll
Chris.
change the name to Chris. We'll retire Billy. Billy's
Yeah,
been
we'll turn you into Chris. Yeah. And then overseas, it did not do well at all. It took in 17 million. So the grand total for this movie is 48 million. So that's kind of low. I'm not sure how the budget was, but
I think it was 15 million. I remember seeing something around 15 million.
15. That's it.
Yeah, it was a very
then it did great.
Yeah, because if you guys remember, this was originally supposed to only come out to HBO Max, but it test screened so well that they decided to do a theatrical release.
And I think that kind of hurt it, in my opinion.
Because we had this talk, was like, if you had seen this on streaming, I think a lot of people would have been way more blown away. Because I don't, sometimes you put on a movie on streaming, you're like, hey, it's at home. If it's bad or it's good, I just wasted time. But if you go to a movie, you spend money and popcorn, you travel somewhere, maybe you're expecting more. Maybe there's different expectations and things. I don't know.
What the hell are you talking about? Jesus Christ.
I mean, I prefer the movie theater experience because, especially when a horror movie, there's nothing like going to a horror movie with other people around you. And when the shit hits the fan, especially in the city, New York City, or where I live in New Jersey, when it's a big city, everybody that's, in the neighborhood will come and the reactions are priceless. Like, oh shit, get out of there, get out of there. It's like, it's part of the experience. And that's just something you can't replicate at home for streaming. And I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like, yeah, am I going to go pay pay money for this movie? And it's, mez. But when I actually got to see this, I enjoyed it. And then the ambiance of the audience just made it another level for me, because there's nothing like screen participation. And it wasn't like somebody going, no, don't go in there. Don't go in there. Like every 5 minutes, it was like a deep pro into it. All right. We have more to discuss. And what we're going to do is talk about so obviously this is a horror movie. The themes were possession and dismemberment. What are some of the themes that maybe I missed?
Family.
Oh yeah, family. Yeah, fuck them kids.
Motherhood.
Motherhood. Yeah, that was a big theme of the movie. Yeah, because the young woman was pregnant in the beginning. So, all right, this poses a question for you guys. Do you think that the unborn baby that she's carrying is going to be a deadite? We'll start with Dave.
We thought that was going to happen in the movie. We're actually shocked that baby didn't explode out the end or something.
I mean, they probably thought about it, but they were probably like, that might be pushing it. We already killed so many kids. Now we're going to kill an unborn kid. But yeah, that is a good question. Is it going to be possessed when it comes out? Those are things we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. Billy?
I'm partially now picturing like a deadite baby with the voice of Bruce Campbell.
That'd be amazing.
Please make that in the sequel, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Have it pop out like Alien style to start out the movie. That's
wow. Like remove her from the main cast already. Like just
comes out with a little chainsaw hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a chainsaw hand, a little baby Bruce.
Yeah. Oh my god. So we're getting into the end. Let's have the final glance. So it turned into a giant thing monster at the end. How did you guys feel about that at the end?
That was a shock. I mean, I wish they would have showed more of the monster.
Yeah, it was just like you saw the faces, like you didn't see the whole monster, which that was a pretty cool idea. That was some like not hentai. I mean, maybe hentai.
Okay, anyway,
that's a different show. That's a different show.
Like some like anime kind of monster that you expect, and
I hope it shows up in the video game.
Yeah, that'd be hell of a DLC for the Evil Dead the game. But I enjoyed it. The Evil Dead franchise is famous for
abominations.
Yeah, and Henrietta transformed into I don't know what she transformed into there.
She transformed into an abomination. And then you got the giant face at the end of Evil Dead 2. And let's not even get into Ash versus Evil Dead, which was just like a gallery of disturbing monster children.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So we enjoyed that. We wish it would have came sooner into the movie.
Oh, all right, Billy.
I just still love this movie, and I like that monster. That was something I do feel like they underutilized. I felt like the movie just played it safe by going to with the short runtime. Like,
Yeah, it was short. It was under 2 hours.
It was barely like 90 minutes. It was like,
yeah.
I was like,
that's fair.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, even like the neighbor, like the one that I said didn't work out, make it an extra half hour to fit that person into the story. Just something.
Yeah, they could have done that.
2 hours.
Some exposition. Yeah.
They're gonna make a HBO Max. Oh, sorry, Max series about the neighbors. The neighbors from Evil Dead Rise. Watch the TV show.
I mean, they're making the Penguin. It's they
might as well. Yeah. Start out small. All right. Well, I think that wraps up everything. Unless there's something you guys want to bring up before we roll out.
Well, I will say that we enjoyed the movie. I know it may seem like we didn't.
We liked it. It's a good movie. It didn't blow us away. But like he has 3 ideas. Have you heard his 3 ideas for a sequel?
No, let's hear those. Yeah.
So his first idea is in reference to the Preacher audio. Which, by the way, did you guys catch the Bruce Campbell cameo?
No, I didn't even know he had a cameo. This is great. Tell us.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, when the kids first listening to the vinyl and you hear all the priests yelling, there's one priest that says,
"It's called the Book of the Dead for a reason."
Oh,
that was Bruce Campbell. And I no one believes me.
I heard it first.
But I was like, that's Bruce Campbell right there. That was his line. But anyway, Lee Cronin's first idea is, what if we have a movie about the priest that came across the book, and you have one priest versus 100 Deadites, and he wants to make it John Wick Evil Dead.
Now that's something I would fucking watch. Let's get Keanu in there.
That would be sequel. Funny.
Yeah, give Keanu a chainsaw hand. Well, everyone's in there.
Yeah.
His second idea is to continue the story of Beth and the chainsaw.
Yeah, he's really adamant about the chainsaw. Like, she's just gonna be carrying this chainsaw everywhere she goes. So I guess that's an idea.
Yeah, there she goes carrying that chainsaw.
Yeah, she so he wants to see where Beth goes with the chainsaw, and I was like, okay. She was a good character.
She's gonna go to Lowe's, get a new chain.
She could go.
And the third, there you go.
Yeah, smart. Yeah.
They had Henrietta's Pizza there. Did you catch that Easter egg?
Yes, I did catch that. Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was like, I'll eat there. I don't care if that's me.
Exactly. The third idea was the cleanup crew that has to come to the apartment complex to clean up the mess and what they have to deal with.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wood chipper did do a lot of mess.
Yeah, it's spread out all over the place. Yeah.
And there's a whole hallway of just dead bodies.
Yeah.
Somebody has to clean it up, and which it's a good idea, but you're going back to the apartment complex. You better do something, crazy. And if I had a choice, I would go with the priest one.
Yeah, I want to see John Wick Evil Dead.
Yeah, I think that sounds like the best one out of the 3 as well. Definitely the way to go.
It was a good movie, and I'm glad it did good. It sounds like they want to make more, not take 10 years.
Apparently, Sam Raimi is working on an Evil Dead Bible that they're going to pass on to producers and directors to try to connect these films more.
Wow.
So they've been talking about a crossover too, and even Bruce Campbell himself has said in a recent interview that he would come back to an Evil Dead movie if Sam Raimi directs it. So would Sam Raimi direct the Evil Dead? What do you guys think? Has that ship sailed for him?
I think he'll come back to it because there's this wonderful thing called money, and money talks. And I really
got a lot of money. He's very successful, but that's a good point.
Yeah,
it's fun to have reunions every now and again.
Yeah, and I know he loves working with Bruce Campbell. So if they put Bruce and Sam back together, for sure.
Sam Raimi pretty much built Bruce Campbell's career. Like even like
Mhm.
his TV show work
Yeah,
was Sam
Yeah.
Raimi produced.
yeah,
That's a
exactly.
good point.
Bubba
I mean,
Hotep.
even Bruce Campbell said the only reason he would come back to live action Evil Dead because as of right now, he has officially retired as that character, at least in live action. But he said in the interview,
Sam Raimi's the only director I would take shit from. So if Sam Raimi directs it, I'll let him beat me up again.
and
Wow.
I mean, Bruce, he still looks good for his age, but I don't know if he can take those falls. I don't know if
Well,
he can.
he can fall down and then not get back. Just give him a life alert. You know what I mean? We'll be good to go. Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
So
Billy.
what do you guys want for the future of Evil Dead? Because it seems like we're gonna get movies. What would you guys like to see?
I'd like to see that priest story. That would be really dope. I
Yeah,
think.
hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that Evil Dead John Wick style, we get to see the whole thing get covered up, and then we get some shady shyster to buy it, and then they get the story of the bank. You could do a lot because then you could go into how the people in the bank got possessed and fucked around and found out. You know what I mean? Like you could
There you
really get a lot of stories out of this. And then, the shady apartment landlord and having him build the whole apartment on top of that whole thing and be like, yeah, all's good. And then have him like be an old man and then follow up with that. You can also, the Deadite is out in the woods, so you can definitely connect it over there. And somebody's going to find that book because they did not bring the book with them. They left that shit behind. So
Mm-hmm.
you
Well,
got another story there.
well, you could take the title Evil Dead Rise two ways. It's either the high rise or the fact that the Evil Dead have risen because, like you just mentioned, the genie's not back at the bottle at the end of that movie. They are out. And
Mhm.
it doesn't even matter that there's one. One is bad enough. But what do you think, Ash? What would you like to see?
What I thought was interesting is I thought they really did set it up for like an expanded universe. They did. I mean, even the fact that as we're talking about, most of the stuff we've discussed are sequels involving this book.
Right.
There's still a book that Ash had, which is the second book, the first book that we knew about, and there's still a third book that we've never seen.
Mhm.
Some people say it's the remake because there's theories that the remake isn't just a remake, that it's its own thing in its own universe or something.
Interesting.
So that's a kind of crossover that's mentioned is the remake. Mia, Beth, and Ash get together, and
Oh boy, I wonder how those three would get along.
I don't know.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of ways this franchise could go, and it's to be honest, it's a very exciting time to be an Evil Dead fan.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very excited to where they go. And I really hope they bring Sam Raimi back because he's really good. I mean, this guy did a great job. The shots that he did, especially when Ellie was climbing in where the cat was in the vents when she was going through and she like crawled out and I was like, oh no. And then she's standing behind it. It was weird that she didn't do anything. She just stood there. And then she was listening to the vinyl and looked in the mirror, the out the window, and saw her standing behind her. And it wasn't until then that she like moved. It was wild. It was so good. And then we got the whole story with a Evil Dead unborn baby, which could be a sick movie in itself.
I know, Rosemary's Baby, but with the Deadites.
The Deadites, yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna fly these days.
Yeah, you're abortion rights.
Well, it could be like he has risen.
Oh, here we go with the Jesus stuff.
It's the undead, Evil Dead baby Jesus.
So we're doing Omen, Rosemary's Baby, Deadite.
Yeah, there we go. Oh my God, what a conglomeration!
What about Rugrats with the Deadites?
Oh
There you
man,
go.
these babies.
Wait, you mean that the Rugrats wasn't an Evil Dead spinoff?
Oh, brings up a good point. All right.
I think Sam Raimi would come back. I mean, we all watched the last Doctor Strange. That was Evil Dead.
That's true. That was Evil Dead. He still got it in there. So hopefully, please, Sam Raimi, if you're watching this, we would love to see you do one more. Bring Bruce, get the old band back together, get Ted Raimi in there.
Yeah.
Bring back Henrietta for no reason, just the hell of it.
Yeah. Make it one big your final bow out, and then let the other guy that did this one do the rest of the sequels. There's a huge universe being available in this. I think this can go like Freddy and Jason.
Oh, think
and
about Freddy since you just mentioned that. They gave
Uh-oh.
Freddy some love in this movie. They mentioned like one of the neighbors invited the daughter over to a house to watch a Freddy marathon.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Which one of the Freddys do you want? We'll watch all the Freddys, even the bad ones. And they're like, there are no
bad ones.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, that's a funny thing you brought up, because once upon a time they were trying to make an Ash versus Freddy versus Jason movie. You guys
Yeah.
recall?
I remember that.
Yeah, and if Freddy versus Jason had caught on, that would have been the sequel.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
imagine. I actually got to talk to Bruce Campbell about that.
Now you're just making stuff up.
There's footage of this. There was this show called AOL Build, and he was promoting Ash versus Evil Dead. I'll do this real quick. And I said to Bruce, I was like, well, the show's called Ash versus Evil Dead. What about Ash versus Freddy versus Jason? To which Bruce Campbell laughed.
And you peed yourself because you thought he's gonna make fun of you.
You know, Bruce Campbell does like to make fun of people. So I was there about to, you know, anyway.
I'm ready to be made fun of.
And he was like, well, this is how that conversation went. We called up New Line and we said, hey, we want to make a Ash versus Freddy versus Jason. Yeah. We want him to kill both of them at the end. Oh, we can't do that. They can't die. Oh, okay, bye. And that was that conversation. And the host said, but they die at the end of every movie. What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
They can't die because Ash kills them.
Yeah, because even in Freddy vs. Jason, when Jason's walking away with Freddy's head, Freddy opens his eye and winks. So it was like, yeah, I'm not dead, you know? Like,
Yeah, they never die.
yeah.
You know, silly. What a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that would have been fun. All right, guys, I think that wraps up. We got really deep into this really cool movie. They did a lot of really wild things, so much blood, but it could have had more blood. Apparently, it wasn't bloody enough for our friend Dave and Zid down there. So I'm Chris Dove. It was good to chat with you guys. Make sure you cast me in your next movie. So our good friend Dave, let us know where people can find you. And thanks for coming on. Yeah.
All right, don't mess this up.
I'm David, and this is Xander, and we host the Last Respawn show for right now.
Because the last host, Dax, has disappeared. If anyone knows what Dax is, please let us know. He's missing.
There's a weird thing when we do a late night video game show on Twitch. It's kind of cursed. Each season,
somebody dies.
So you know, we survived one season by outrunning the cops.
Yeah, you've killed 60 people. By the way, he's wanted for murder.
Anyway, so check us out. Here's the Twitch thing, and praise Jesus.
Oh God, no.
Praise Jesus. All right, and you know us from To Be Seen. I'm Joe Dove, and this is Billy. Please be sure to do those wonderful YouTube things like, you know, subscribe and give us a like. Click those buttons, ring the bell. Be sure you listen to that. We've got some more folks that passed away. Harry Belafonte. We've got some in memoriam videos up. You can check those out. They're short, so it'll do well. And we will see you next time. Make sure you bring a Bible with you because it's always spooky and To Be Seen.
Yeah. Yep.